Alright, so His Excellency Turki Alalshikh just dropped a bombshell of some news as he just revealed during the press conference of Edgar Berlanga and Hamza Shiraz. He said in the middle of the press conference, he revealed that he has plans to make Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson, and also he is in talks, or he also have plans to make Teofimo Lopez versus Boots Ennis. Now, that is an amazing lineup, right? Here's my opinion on that. I have a few opinions on that, actually. One, the first opinion is this. I would like for Turki Alalshikh to stop telling fighters, and I said this in a tweet too, I would like for him to stop telling fighters that you have a big fight planned when you have a tough fight or you have a fight planned in front of you. Now, I get it. It's up to the boxers to perform on fight night to get the big fight. But if I know I have a mega fight as my next fight, that can throw fighters off. We just seen that on the Times Square card with Devin Haney and Ryan. Please stop telling fighters you have especially a big fight. Please stop telling fighters that. Let them focus on the fight they have at hand. Shakur got to fight Zepeda. Even though I think Shakur will run through him, he is still a tough opponent. Let him focus on that first. And then after the fight, then talk about Tank Davis. You're planning fights ahead, and when people lose, your whole plan just messed up. And it's also giving fans false hope, because not only false hope, but high expectations, because you're putting extra pressure on the boxers. Now I have to go out here to win so I can get the big fight. No, because if he lose, then what? What's next? This is how upsets happen in boxing, right? Because people want to see the big fight so bad, they're gonna bet on the man to win. People wanted to see Devin Haney and Ryan so bad that they gave Rolly no shot. And so what's next now? I just don't like when you prep fighters and say, hey, I have a big fight plan ahead of you. Not only is it a big fight, it's also a lot of money on the line too. Stop telling fighters that. Let them do what they do. Let them take care of business first. Then you talk to them about what's next, in my opinion. And the second opinion I do have, if I had to bet money on the likelihood of what fight will get made, I would bet money on the Teofimo Lopez and Boots Ennis fight over the Tank Davis and Shakur fight. The reason why I say that is because it seems like Teofimo wants to fight Boots Ennis, but of course with Teofimo, he's going to want the bag, of course. But the likelihood of that fight happening, because Boots is like, yo, like, I will fight anybody, you know what I'm saying? And Teo wants that fight. That seems like a fairly easy fight to make, if that makes sense. Versus Tank Davis versus Shakur, Tank has been public about his opinions, his strong opinions about Turki Alalshikh, right? Not only that, he also have said on camera for him to fight Shakur, he need like, what was it? It was like four. What was it? 4 cars, like 4 expensive cars. It's something crazy of that sort, right? It just seems like, and I know it's gonna be Tank fans who are gonna have their opinions. It just seems like when people bring up the conversation of Tank Davis potentially fighting Shakur, he goes out of his way to dismiss the fight by either saying, what has he done for boxing? Why are people constantly bringing up Shakur? It just seems like he's just not interested in the fight. The man talking about retiring. It just seems like it will be a hassle to make the fight happen. And that's my true honest opinion. It just seems like it will be a hassle to make that fight happen. On top of the fact that Tank don't really like Turki Alalshikh that much to even go through with that. He was even saying, like, I don't want to say he feared, but he was basically saying he wouldn't want to fight on Turki Alalshikh's card because he had the potential of losing. And I think it goes back to what the Adames fight between Hamza and Adames, where people thought Adames won the fight, but because Hamza, I believe that's where Hamza is also from, but because of the environment, the fight ended in a draw, and that kind of, I guess people was going with the fact that that fight kind of proved Tank's point of not really wanting to fight on Turkey's card because he might have a high chance of losing. You know, again, he might be right, but from what I've seen, the fights have, besides that fight, the fight has always been judged fairly. But again, it just seems like trying to get Tank on board for one, to even work with Turki Alalshikh, and for two, to make the fight happen between Tank and Shakur. I just think it's going to be a lot of work, in my opinion. It just seems like it would be a lot of work. And of course, Tank, he's going to want the fight to be in the States. I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody would want that fight to be in the States. With the Teofimo and the Boots in this fight, it just seemed like the fight would be a lot easier to make. I could see that fight happening. I can 100% see that fight happening. Teo wants to fight. Boots, he's like, okay, if he wants to fight, like Boots just have that mindset, like, yo, I'll fight anybody. And also, it will be a lot easier for Turkey to work with Teofimo because Teofimo, he was just on his card. So it just seemed like it would be a lot easier to make that fight happen, versus the Tank Davis and Shakur. I feel like, in my opinion, and this is my real honest opinion, I think Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson will be those what if type of fights, those fantasy type of fights that won't ever happen. In my opinion, I don't think Tank and Shakur will ever happen. Shakur wants to fight, but it just seems like Tank don't want to fight, and I think it's sad because I think that would be a really great fight. I think Tank and Shakur is definitely one of, if not the biggest fight in boxing, is one of the biggest fights in boxing. At least top 3, top 2, top 3. It's up there. It's a fight that everybody is asking for. It might be the best fight in boxing to make, honestly, because I can't think of no other fight that fans are really calling for the most besides that fight. I think if that fight does end up happening, which I don't think it will, but if it does end up happening, I think it will be a very entertaining fight. I do. I think it will be a entertaining fight. But again, I stand on the fact that this will be a what if type of fight, even though they're in the same weight class. I think it's crazy, but it's sad, but that's just how I just don't see the fight happening at all. Like, I just don't. But on that note, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy any of this content, make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions about Turki Alalshikh revealing that he has plans to make Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson, and also Teofimo Lopez versus Ennis. And also, if these two fights do end up happening, who are y'all picking? I got Boots for other reasons, right? I got Boots. And if Tank and Shakur would end up fighting, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think that's a real tough fight to call, in my opinion. That's why it's a fight that has to happen. And if you are new, make sure you hit that red button that says subscribe and click that bell, and make sure that bell is turned on to all so you don't miss out on any future uploads like this one. And as always, it's your boy Remy, and I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.